foolish.
Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Hello, everybody. I know what you're thinking. What are those guys doing right here on the in the SmackDown Penitentiary? Well, I got news for you folks. Is not SmackDown Penitentiary just got rated R today. Myself, the executive consultant, along with Big Daddy Cool. It is not Monday. Don't adjust your television sets. We're in the penitentiary. How you doing, Big Daddy Cool?
I'm doing all right. Welcome, everybody. Usually it's Dice and Vic here, but now there's a different black and brown tag team taking over the streets of Saturday morning wrestling review shows. And that's us. Nice to see everybody. Drop your comments in the chat.
It is great to see everybody here tonight. Let's go ahead and
Are you popping gummies? What are you doing over there?
I am popping gummies.
Wow.
Live on there.
We're here to talk about an amazing episode of SmackDown. So great. So wonderful. Except there was a lot of disrespect. I got a lot of thoughts. And usually we don't share our thoughts. We're usually on Raw, reviewing Raw stuff, and we don't really share the SmackDown thoughts. But I got a lot of SmackDown thoughts. If you came here for me to rant about that bum Sami Zayn, that's not going to happen on this episode because we're talking about SmackDown only.
Right. So I don't even know why Sami Zayn got brought up because he's not on.
You're absolutely right. You know, the other thing is I want to just shout out Stephanie Vaquer. This is my shirt. Hello. If you love somebody enough, spend your money on them. If you're real Mark.
Apparently, because you have a Mets.
I just want to share something. That's right. I'm going to a Mets game later. If you want to come at me with your wrestling thoughts at the Mets game, I'll see you at Citi Field later. What's up, Jeff? Jeffrey? Good to see you. EC, you've been wearing black now. That's right. He's all Gunther'd out. He's wearing his Gunther shirt for tonight. Backing his guy, and I'm backing my girl. So, you know,
Gunther is a Raw star. I'm not supporting Gunther tonight. I don't support Gunther.
But you're wearing your Gunther shirt.
I wear a lot of black T-shirts. I also have blue. I have red. I wear all.
I've never seen him. Never seen him.
That is bullshit.
I've never seen
how many times
you wear that one Gunther shirt that you wear all the time.
They insult you if I say one Gunther.
You got 5 Gunther shirts, and they're all the same Gunther shirt. Black shirt.
They got the 2 best hosts on the channel for this show now. Hey, they weren't able to make it, so that's why we're here. One time only. We're not going to be back next week.
It's a sunny day. Before we start up with the SmackDown review, I got one more sidebar comment that had nothing to do with SmackDown. The other day, I got bored. I think it was like Wednesday night. I was like, there's no wrestling on Wednesday night, so I decided to put on an old episode of.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
AEW has a wrestling show on Wednesday.
Oh, what? So I put on an old episode of NXT, and I was watching Stephanie Vaquer versus Cora Jade. Rest in peace, Cora Jade. And my son was like, "Man, you still watching? You really?" He said, "You're really glazing Stephanie Vaquer." You know that kids use the word glazing nowadays?
I think so.
And then I said to him, he's 15, by the way. I said to him, "Man, would I like to glaze her?" And then he looked at me. And then his mother showed up.
Hopefully you got a good talking to.
No. I think it's well known around this house that who I'd like to glaze. How was SmackDown last night?
SmackDown started off very weak, if you ask me. They started off the show. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about it. Am I the only one that misses when they actually had a show intro with pyro? Am I the only one that misses that?
SmackDown's the B show. There really shouldn't be any pyro nowadays.
But do they can they start off with their entrance and their music?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right, so it starts off very weak. It started off with Damian Priest, right? He's in the bag. He's saying some boring shit. I don't know. I'm not paying attention to him. Thankfully, some energy comes into there with none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah!
Boo.
You don't boo L.A. Knight.
Okay.
You just don't do it. Comes in. Apparently, the two of them are teaming together against none other than the family, Solo Sikoa and the United States champion, Jacob Fatu. Match gets underway. Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Actually, I don't remember. I don't remember who won this match. I think. Oh, LA Knight won. LA Knight won.
LA Knight pinned.
LA Knight won. He pinned Solo Sikoa with a nice little thing. He ducked the thumb and they hit him with the BFT. Boom! 1, 2, 3. Good job there. I did like this. Chaos ensued after. Jacob Fatu laying out everybody. There's a lot of tension between Damian Priest and LA Knight. When Jacob Fatu celebrating, here comes Drew McIntyre with the Claymore kick, grabs the championship, standing tall. Thank you, Jeffrey. I agree. That's how the show should start off. Mind you, when Damian Priest and LA Knight came out there, more so when Damian Priest came out there, then, because I thought I took a break from it at least, if I couldn't get my show music and pyro, then as LA Knight and Damian Priest got into the ring before Solo and Jacob Fatu comes out there, they show backstage Tiffany Stratton walking in. And Jax walking in, and I'm like, come on, y'all couldn't let me get away with it for one day. Couldn't let me get away with it. Also, I want to make a note before I let you go on your rant. I want to make a note that while Jacob Fatu was in the match, he took the time out to say all gas, no brakes. Or I should say,
Jacob Fatu was not in the match.
Jacob Fatu was in the match. It was a tag team match.
Oh well.
Jacob Fatu, while he was being the one tagged in and he was beating up some jabroni in the corner, he took a break to say all gas, no brakes.
As he should. That's his motto. He also said it backstage. I love. Can we just talk about the vignette or the sidebar that they had like backstage afterwards? Where
Solo I was going to go there next. Go ahead.
Where Solo was like, "We're not winning the numbers game, man. We gotta do something. We gotta come to the game plan. We're running out of people. All our people are hurt." And Jacob Fatu, in response to this man, he said, "The game plan is run the game, run the play. That's it. I can't do it justice because the man is just so good at just being like. I can't like see him like just being in a corner in front of a fireplace, just kind of like reading a book. The man is legit, all gas, no brakes, all the time. Like he's all like, "We're gonna just do the play. I'm gonna lay it." What did he say? What is his thing?
All gas, no brakes.
No, not before all gas, no brakes. He said he's gonna dog walk everybody. He said,
"Oh yeah," he said, "LA Knight, dog walk. Damian Priest, dog walk. Yeah. Drew McIntyre, God damn, I'll dog walk ass." He took the time to go through all his things. Like he realizes he's going through there, so he had to go on dog walk. What do you say? Because I put it on my story on Instagram. It's you better get in where you fit in. He went through the whole playbook, so to speak, of his sayings.
Yep. Pillar to post, coast to coast. Yep.
Yada me, yada.
Yada mean. Then he finished it up with that, but he mellowed that one out. He was like, "Yada mean." No, walked away. Oh my God, he is so good.
Where you get in?
Yeah, he's yeah. That's
my favorite one. I don't know what I like better: get in where you fit in, or yada mean. I don't know which one.
Yeah, get in where you fit in is good. I'm really hoping that Damian Priest wins tonight because Jacob don't need that title.
Of course, you want Damian Priest, Mr.
Yo, I don't know why you have such a beef for Damian Priest.
Well, besides the fact that I don't like how he treated me when we met up, but
what did he do to you? He didn't invite you into the jacuzzi when he was with Brandy. What's her face?
Brandy who?
The chick. What's her name?
Good job.
In NXT.
Way to describe. Big Daddy Cool. Way to describe. The other
Brandy
chick.
Lauren? The other, she was.
Brandy Rhodes? No, look.
No, she was bosom.
I mean, Damian Priest and I have met up quite a few times, but one time I just felt like he disrespected the Miz. So ever since then, we've been.
That was it. Wow.
Matt told him my favorite wrestler was the Miz, and he said, "Why?" I said, "You know what, motherfucker? I'm never going to get you a shot."
I think he asked a pretty legitimate question.
No, he didn't.
It was
if
like,
you don't see
what
why
year
the
did this
Miz
happen? 2024? What year did this happen?
No, this was like 2021 or 2. But look, here's my point. I think it was 2022. It had been 2022. That's not the point. The point is he sucks, and he's about to get released before the end of the year.
Yeah, that's not happening. They're naming a street after him in the Bronx. Did you know that?
That's fine. That can be bought off.
What? Do you think they're naming it as Damian Priest or Punishment Martinez?
Damian Priest.
Yeah, probably. What else happened on SmackDown?
Next one, I think was. Oh yes. So the former United States champion is having a eulogy in the back for people's that were released 2 weeks ago, and as they're doing that, here comes the United States champion who just happens to be walking with Nick Aldis. I guess she said, "Hey, Ray is gone." So, but anyway. Can we talk about this, Big Daddy Cool?
What? Yeah.
How did Zelina Vega get a United States Championship shot?
Because she beat the champion in a regular match.
Are you sure it's not the same way she got it at LWO?
You need to stop with that. That's a false rumor that you're starting that no one is buying into. You need to stop. Stop with that. Now you're saying that what? That she's busy with Nick Aldis?
What was she doing with Nick Aldis, Steven? What was she doing with Nick Aldis?
She's the champion. They're probably coming back from a photo shoot. And he's the general manager. Hello.
She mysteriously got transferred.
She pinned Chelsea 3 times. Now you're going to ask who pinned her
got
3 times?
Transferred over. She did not pin her 3 times. One of those was a count out. She mysteriously transferred over to SmackDown, right? And all of a sudden, you get a United States Championship shot while B-Fab is in the back taking her glasses off.
B-Fab was not in the back. She's let go. B-Fab is no longer with the company.
B-Fab was there last night, sir.
In the audience.
No. She was backstage. She and Meechin congratulated the Street Profits before they came back.
For what, having a job still?
This is why we don't watch SmackDown on YouTube, right?
You can't tell me. Hold on a second. Nobody. You're fucking with me right now.
I'm not.
No. B-Fab is no longer on this show. Stop.
B-Fab was on SmackDown last night. She and Meechin. She was talking. They were like, "Oh, you did a good job in that TLC match."
You must have watched the rerun.
This is what she does. No. This is what she does every single SmackDown. Every time she talks, every time she's talking, she starts off like this, and then she takes her glasses off and does like this, so she can still do like this. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Like I can't stand it. Jeffrey wants to know what show you.
I don't know, man. I listen. B-Fab was backstage. Mia,
yeah, Mia, yeah, Mia was there still saying, "Hey, I'm still around." Anyway, it leads to a tag team match between Piper and Chelsea because the other woman, nobody knows her yet. So it's them two versus.
She's the champion.
Who's the champion?
Zelina.
No, I said. See, this is what I'm talking about. I said no one knows her. I said Piper and Chelsea were the tag team because the other woman, no one knows her yet. And you don't know who I'm talking about, do you?
Oh, I do know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
Who am I talking about?
Alexa Bliss.
Don't look it up. Who?
Alexa Bliss.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Who else is in the Secret Service?
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Not, oh God, jeez.
Don't worry,
not Gigi Dolan.
Nope, no, she's gone.
It's, oh my God, but she was hanging out with Gigi Dolan.
She was not.
No, Alba Fire.
There you go.
Suck it.
It only took you 20 minutes, but that's fine. Anyway, out comes Zelina Vega and her tag team partner, the return to a humongous pop, Alexa Bliss. Who wins?
Yeah, that's great. Listen, Zelina needs a pop.
Bad Guy Jack and I were talking about something not too long ago. I'm going to mention to later on the show. But yeah, Zelina Vega did not get a pop. She came out to silence.
She stood at the entrance, and then Alexa Bliss came out, and then she got a pop. And they walked down the ring together.
When she stood in the entrance, she got no pop.
I don't know what you're. No, they both walked down to the ring, and they were the arena was happy to see them.
Home state, not hometown. Home state. Say it again.
They walked down the ring together, so the arena popped for both of them.
When Zelina Vega came out with that championship, that is not how they work. She got Zelina Vega and Damian Priest got zero pop. I didn't even mention it on Damian Priest. Damian Priest they had LA Knight come out there first, and he got a pop because he's everybody saying.
Oh, of course. Where were they last night? Ohio.
They were in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah. You know how many Latinos are in Ohio?
So they have to be Latino to get cheered?
Since January, there's a lot less. There you go. That's why they didn't get cheered. They would have gotten a big pop had it been December or any time before December. But after, now, all the fans got deported.
From the United States champion, a former women's champion, to another former women's champion, here comes Charlotte Flair making a return to WWE. Comes out there, and you know what? I didn't watch this completely live. I watched it on the YouTube, but the TV kind. And Charlotte came back, and before I watched, Mike calls me and says he's never going to admit this on air. Yeah, I'm going to call you out, bro. He said, I'm never going to admit this on air. Charlotte might have lost it because she could tell the crowd was getting to her.
No, not last night. She had.
No, she wasn't. Last night I saw it. I was prepared for it, and I saw everything.
Oh my God,
was done intentionally.
You are so biased against her. You're not fair to Flair. I say this time and time again. You are not fair to Flair. She has this audience wrapped around her finger. She knows how to heel it up. I can argue that she is better at being a heel than her father ever was. Nobody booed Ric Flair like they boo her.
So I don't know if Big Daddy Cool has been drinking in the morning. That's fine.
I'm not drinking. I ran a 5K this morning.
I didn't disrespect Charlotte Flair. I said she did a fantastic job last night.
Oh, what?
Yes. Oh. She did a good job last night. She came out there and she did her job. Those fans did not even know they were being played by her to show what a great heel she was.
That's right. High five. Thank you.
She came out there, returned after a 2-week hiatus. They made it seem like it was longer, but they didn't want it to be that long because she just came back anyway. But they wanted to see like it was going to be longer because what does she do every time she comes back? She inserts herself into the world title matrix. Well, I can't think.
As she should.
The world title picture, and people hate her for that. So they did that to amplify it, so they get the reaction they wanted. They wanted her to do it. Then she doubled down by claiming she is the greatest female wrestler of all time.
The GOAT. Yes. Yeah.
She is the GOAT. She did that because she wanted the fans to heel heat, boo her, as well as go home heat, boo her. That made for compelling television. She did a fantastic job. She played the role very well, and she got booed out. And then it made the intense stare between her and one Jade Cargill Harris even better.
How many women are you married to?
I can't admit it publicly because then I can get arrested. But the bottom line is when Jade Cargill Harris came out, they had us there. She told Charlotte bye, get in the back of the line. It was a great segment leading up to some match that a lot of people are going to hate on, but they shouldn't hate on because I think it was a good match, and that's between Nia Jax returning to the ring and Jade Cargill, European Big Daddy Cool.
Listen, Charlotte knew exactly what she was doing, and listen, you can't tell me that Charlotte doesn't know what she's. Oh, look who's here!
I agree with this. She said her Mania match was the best match she's ever had. That's bullshit, and she did that.
She didn't tell you which Mania match.
No. She said coming off the heels of the greatest women's Mania match of all time. She was talking about the last one, but she did that once again because everybody will sit here and say, "Ding dong, you're wrong." Shout out to Charmaine. Ding dong, you're wrong.
Don't shout her out. Can you explain? How do I block somebody from the chat? Because Charmaine, you're asking for it. This guy too is asking for it. How do I block somebody? Look at this, Charmaine. Ding dong, you're wrong, Chris. Charlotte, yuck. Oh my God. How do I?
Actually, it says yunk, which is a new word. That's
It is
next
for
reading.
2025. It's yunk. You know, George called me the other day. I'm gonna just pivot since he's here now. George calls me the other day and he's like, I was listening to your Raw review. And why do you hate so much? And I said,
Thank you, George.
me?
Thank you. You're absolutely right.
I don't
Absolutely right.
He was, and then he goes, Sami Zayn, why? Like, you own a Sami Zayn shirt. And I said, no, I burned that. I used to own it when he was clean cut in NXT. He was, you know, a proper looking gentleman. And now he looks like a bum. And then he goes, he's like, you explained that what's popular to you is wrestlers have to entertain more than just wrestle in the ring. And I said, yes, you've been listening. I'm glad that we're seeing eye to eye. He goes, then why don't you like Joe Hendry? He's entertaining. And I said, no, my friend. Joe Hendry's entrance is entertaining. Nothing this man does in the ring is entertaining. Just the entrance. And then he started to argue with me. And I said, George, what's Joe Hendry's finishing move? And the man couldn't answer it. George, if you're watching, it's the third time, Chris, that I've asked this man this question. And I've answered the question for him. I told him that it was the standing ovation chokeslam. I've told this man once. I told him twice when we were sitting at WrestleMania, and I looked at the crowd when everybody was like, Joe Hendry, we love Joe Hendry. And I looked around at all of them. I said, you marks, you fickle marks, you love Joe Hendry. How many of you can tell me what his finishing move? All of them sat down because they couldn't. And guess what? This third time around, George sat down again and was silent because he couldn't tell me. He said this. He said Joe Hendry's finishing move was the South of Heaven chokeslam. Ding dong, you're wrong, George.
Well, I mean, because he probably couldn't remember who does the South of Heaven chokeslam because that guy's so irrelevant.
Kudos to Charlotte. I really hope that Charlotte and Jade is next or is coming for WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Because I need to see Charlotte put over Jade so that way everybody can stop with this nonsense about Charlotte not putting over people.
Nia Jax wins the championship. She's going after Tiffany Stratton's WWE championship after Naomi caused a distraction by beating up Tiffany Stratton, who decided instead of getting up and attacking Naomi for attacking her, she's just going to sit down because she ain't want that work. She's been cautioned.
You know, if you watch back that Charlotte versus Tiffany match,
it wasn't a bad match. I liked it.
It's a really good match. It's just a different style of match. Like, they went in there fully knowing like they were going to be stiff with each other. And Charlotte
does do stiff.
She does. And I think that's why her, again, I can't glaze Asuka versus Charlotte enough because that they like to work stiff with each other. Tiffany knew that this is what was going on. And for the fact that like they got so personal before WrestleMania, that needed to be the style of match, right? Because I was being vulnerable on this talk show. You talk some shit about me. Like, now it has to look like a real fight. And part of it looked legit. So that's why Charlotte is the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Arguably, I still say Asuka. Now, that being said,
when you coming back, Asuka? I know you watched the show.
Should be any week now. I think she's going to go after.
Can we just talk about Asuka for a second?
Of course.
I think that they put Asuka on the bench for a minute, just so Io can go over. I think that Asuka's been ready to come back, and they were like, sit a couple plays out, Asuka. We don't want you to come in and take away Io's thunder as we put her over as a face.
I agree. I think at 100%.
Yeah, right?
I think she's been back for a while. They didn't have any concrete plans for WrestleMania, and they need her to sit back while we build up Io, which they've done a phenomenal job. I was talking to that guy about not too long ago. I said at the beginning, when she first won that world title, she was like merely an afterthought. Like she was always
Yep.
popular. You didn't like her, but she was always popular.
I
But
couldn't
her
stand her.
popularity has just doubled. I feel like
Yes.
I'm not even exaggerating since being around it, being that feud, and being after WrestleMania. She's done a tremendous job, and I think she carried it very well. And I think Asuka coming back and attacking her, that's gonna be the thing. And then Kairi Sane comes back, and then that's who's she gonna side with? It's gonna be very entertaining in my opinion.
I think kudos to Rhea. Rhea's not only in the last year and a half made Liv Morgan, but she's also made Io. Io is much stronger and popular now than she ever has been in her entire career. And
100%.
It absolutely has to do with both Rhea and Bianca.
So let me ask you this question, and I know we're doing SmackDown right now, but I'll ask the same question about SmackDown in a minute. But let's start with Raw. Who and let's see, because Bad Guy Jack and I, we were yapping it up for a good 30 minutes of there. Who are your top 5 baby faces on Monday Night Raw?
Who's the top like legit baby faces? Because
Legit
right now, like
baby faces on Monday
the
Night
person
Raw.
that's one of the people that are most over, well, 2 of them nowadays, is Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and they're both heels.
Okay, you're right. So they don't count because they're heels.
Okay, babyface. I'm gonna go with Cody.
SmackDown.
SmackDown. He's on.
That's on the Raw roster. Cody Rhodes.
All right. Jey Uso number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who's number 2. I hate to say this, but Sammy's up there. I feel like a lot of people get hyped when Sammy comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on there? Rhea. Yeah, no, Rhea's number 2. Rhea's number 2. Sammy 3. Who else is on Raw that everybody gets real excited about? Penta. I feel nowadays everybody's really excited to see Penta.
I think that's arguable.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying it's wrong, and this thing is arguable.
And who else? Yeah, I don't know.
Charmaine's throwing her opinion out there.
Otis.
Let me tell you
Charmaine,
something.
how many Otis shirts do you own? Stop with
Here
this.
we go. Here we go. Let me tell you
Thank you,
something.
George.
You go buy
Thank you,
shirts
George.
right now. Karrion Kross is taking care of business. But the bottom line is, Otis, I think is low key more popular than people give him credit for. I really do. That man gets a reaction almost every single time he comes out.
I think you're right.
When he has a match and he starts doing the shakes and stuff like that, people get behind him. It's kind of, but that means they're going to release him because people got behind Braun Strowman like that too. But whatever. Top 5, right? Here you go. You ready?
Ready.
Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is a Raw superstar now, right?
I've never seen him on Raw.
What do you mean? The last time he made an appearance was on Raw.
The last time he made an appearance was on. Oh yeah, it was on Raw. That was after WrestleMania. I was gonna say it was WrestleMania.
He's on Raw. So I say Roman Reigns, CM Punk, main event Jey Uso, Penta. I was putting up there before I remember Rhea Ripley. You have to put Rhea Ripley. She gets like one of the biggest reactions each week.
Yes.
And AJ Styles.
I think
AJ Styles.
I think that depends on where
Steph's
you're
a
at.
heel now. Steph's a heel now. A week or 2 ago, I would agree with you by far. But Steph's a heel.
Can we talk about like why is it like even who's the heel that so what do you think is going on with the wrestling fans in 2025 that Seth Rollins I feel like the winds have changed after WrestleMania.
Don't do that.
Cody Rhodes is getting booed. Seth Rollins gets cheered. Dominic gets cheered. Becky Lynch acts like a complete a-hole to Feathers. She gets cheered. Like John Cena, half and half. I don't like what's. I feel like the audience is turning heel.
Depending on the city, I agree with you. You know, some cities.
Last night they're yelling out, "You can't wrestle" to Jade and Nia. Like Dayton, Ohio. You guys can't even roll out of bed. You guys are so fat.
People have a predisposition when it comes to Jade Cargill and Nia Jax about they can't wrestle. Now I appreciate the fact that Nia put in one of the most phenomenal wrestling performances last year for the women, in my opinion. I think she had a fantastic year. She was actually my pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year. I think Jade Cargill has improved leaps and bounds. I don't know what happened during that injury, or they put her out so they can give her there. But since she's come back, you can see the maturation. You can see the confidence in her matches now, as well as when she speaks. Even though she's not the best on the mic, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
You know, but she does what she needs to do, and I think she's been doing a great job. And I want to go ahead and talk about it. But I see what you're saying. Now, if you go to SmackDown, I'm just going to lead off. You know, because the conversation which happened between me and Bad Guys, we were talking about, hey, what's the A show, right? Because when they were on Fox, SmackDown was clearly the A show, but now they're on Netflix. It seems like Raw's the A show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, I do think compared to when the brand split happened in the early 2000s and stuff, that they actually have a little bit more a balance than they used to. Where SmackDown is clearly the B show. Because when you think about it, SmackDown has their most important title, the WWE Championship. The undisputed WWE title, the most important championship. They're going to reset the history book. John Cena is on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes, who some may still consider the face of the company, is on SmackDown, right? Randy Orton, right? This generation, in my opinion, is Undertaker. Drew McIntyre, who, in my opinion, is the quintessential wrestler and the wrestler that you could put in. The only other person I see is like this is Brock Lesnar. You can put Drew McIntyre in almost any feud, he will make it work. He can lose 5 matches in a row and be put in the world title picture. Nobody's going to blink an eye because he's Drew fucking McIntyre, right? LA Knight is still super over. Jacob Fatu is I mean, I can't say enough, right? He's doing a fantastic job. Then you had Damian Priest, who they wish would do something, but can't.
Did I tell you that I ran into Drew McIntyre when we were at the, oh my God, what was it? The Blue Fontaine? What was it called? That
Fontaine Blue.
Fountain Blue, yeah. I saw him running from the entrance to his elevator because everybody knew that he had like some assistant with him. This assistant was carrying like 3 cases of beer. And all the beer was hard seltzer. Drew, I feel like you on TV he comes across hard, but like you dropped a couple steps with you and your livelies or whatever the light hard seltzer is. Like the dude was carrying a bunch of light seltzer, and I'm just like, bro, I would have expected more from you. Like Sheamus would have like laughed at you
because they always talk about the pints and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I get that he's got to be. Listen, the man looks like he's got 0.1% zero body fat.
You make a wrestler from the ground up, in my opinion, they should look like Drew McIntyre.
You're right. That's Vince's old attitude. I miss you, pops.
Next team we're going to. Next thing we're going to talk about after they had a nice little interaction with Mia Yim and BFAB. Street Profits come out.
Sorry, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. You keep bringing it up. That didn't happen.
Street Profits come out to celebrate the fact that they think that, in their opinion, they had the greatest WWE TLC match of all time. They said arguably. First they said arguably, then they changed their mind and said it's no longer arguable. They had the greatest TLC match of all time. I disagree. And they said that the Guerrillas fear them. They're banged up, they're bruised, they got the patches all over their body. Out comes the newest SmackDown tag team caller from NXT, Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom, who then says, hey, we want to come after those titles. Of course, as we all know, she probably said, you only wrestle twice. Why would hell we wrestle you? Here comes Nick Aldis with a recycled promo. Bottom line is, we have a tag team match between Fraxium and the Street Profits, which Fraxium wins. We have never talked about Fraxium before. In my opinion, they are one of, if not the greatest tag team in wrestling today, let alone WWE. What is your opinion when it comes to this NXT call-up?
I will tell you right now that I've never seen Fraxium before, and this year I've had the luck to see them twice. I saw them in NXT when Stephanie Vaquer won the NXT title from Julia at Roadblock, and I saw them at Stand and Deliver against those two big fellas.
Hank and Tate. You're NXT tag team champions.
Those guys should not be NXT champions. They shouldn't be in wrestling, but whatever. Fraxium right now, and I don't know about the top wrestling tag team, but they are top 3 in my mind because these guys, a lot of people will compare them to the Young Bucks with how fast they are, but the Young Bucks are so choreographed. Like
Very choreographed.
It is insulting to watch. Like that match that they had on, was it this past Wednesday night?
There was an 8-man, and I don't know if it was this Wednesday or the last Wednesday. It was an 8-man tag team match, and it was so choreographed.
So choreographed. It takes me out, Chris. Like it takes me out of the match. And so the difference between Fraxium is like, I'll watch a Young Bucks match and I'm like, why is the referee even in the ring? Like, why is the referee there? Like, what? Just call it a tornado tag because that's what it is. The referee's just taking up space. He looks dumb and helpless. In a WWE match, it makes sense. These guys are quick tagging each other. It makes sense. And the guys are like, for two guys that never worked with each other other than I think the past year and a half.
Yeah, they were two individual stars that were thrown in together. And
these dudes, like, they have meshed so well. I am so impressed by Fraxium. And the fact that they can wrestle high flyers, other tag teams, or even big dudes like Hank and Tag, like that's what's so impressive about Fraxium. And like, I really hope that Triple H puts the rocket on these guys to propel not only them, but the entire tag team division in WWE. I feel like the tag team division should not just be a brand to brand thing. It should be across the brands. The tag team belts should be something where you don't need 20 tag teams. Just have 8 to 10 solid tag teams that go back and forth from Raw and SmackDown.
I don't want to see the forth. I don't want to see the back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. I can't stand that. But I do agree with you on a certain levels of what you're saying, and Fraxium too, because I could not stand Fraxium for the longest time. I hated them. Every single month I wanted them to lose, and every single month they just impressed me and proved over and over again to the point where I couldn't deny them anymore. So I'm really excited and interested in seeing this team. And they put on a very good match with the Street Profits. They didn't give you too much because they couldn't, because that's money, but they couldn't. Next match we're going to talk about is... Hold
on. Mike is in the chat. Mike said they're top 7. Who's the other 6? Who's the other 6 above them? I'm interested to hear his thoughts. Who else could be better than Fraxium? Like, I can't. Street Profits? Okay, you might be. Okay, DIY maybe? All right.
I would not give it a DIY. I think their best days are behind them. I just can't. I can't give it a DIY.
I feel like there's a whole ass fight happening behind me.
Do you want to check on that?
No, it's all right.
Are you sure? Because I'm about to run a commercial anyway, so you need to go check on it.
Run a commercial. I just don't run that same AEW commercial because I'm going to interrupt it again.
You were so disrespectful. When we come back, we're going to talk about the last half of WWE SmackDown, including John Cena.
Pretty deadly. You got a Motor City Machine Guns.
And this comment that got Big Daddy Cool hot. We're going to talk about all that when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching. Once I find the clicker, you're watching a popular review. We'll be right back. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Getting back on track, Charmaine wants to know how you feel the release wrestling. Willie, how you feel about the release wrestling?
I can't stay.
Thanks for coming, Charmaine. It's obvious to me that you tapped in while we were live and missed the first 10 minutes of the show because we talked everything about the release wrestlers in the first 10 minutes of the show. But now that you're here, I'm gonna ruin the show for everybody else, for Jeffrey, for Todd, for George, everybody that's been here for the first 10 minutes. We're gonna start the show over again. Ready? All right. Hold on a second. Ready? Where's the entrance? Hey everybody, welcome. It's Monday Night Raw Review Show. I'm Big Daddy Cool. Talk about who's your favorite release wrestler. Go ahead. He's crying because of he's crying because his favorite wrestler got released. I said release.
Release.
He's crying because of Jakara Jackson. That's his favorite release.
What is the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, Big Daddy Cool? Get back on track, okay? What happened on Raw?
Oh, hold on.
I feel like first of all, I want to say kudos to me. This is the first time that I think I've popped both you and Willie at the same time. Like the fact that you were both in tears. Great moment. And I think you and I, now that Willie's not here, was Willie doing the review in his underwear?
I don't know. I never paid. No, he did because he did his making the air pregnant thing. So you saw.
Yeah, but it looked like that was his underwear, like not his shorts. I feel like the man wears like long briefs, and that was he was straight up in his underwear.
Well, we are promoting our unpopular review OnlyFans. I know we've been talking about it for a while now. It's coming out very soon, and that's what Willie was saying on Monday Night Raw. All right, so let's talk about it. Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, Motor City Machine Guns, Hudson. These are the tag teams that Mike Knox is putting over Fraxium. All right. Street Profits, I believe, are arguable. Pretty Deadly, I think, are a good tag team. I think Fraxium is better, though. Motor City Machine Guns, I think they're on the chopping block soon. I don't see them lasting much longer. And Hudson, I'm not familiar with that tag team. You have to give me more.
Who knows?
I thought she went to Charmaine's School of Spelling. My fault. All right, so Mike Knox, game over. That was a funny review. Laugh. Yes, he did. Thanks, Charmaine, for that, Steve and Hudson. So let's go ahead and talk about what was next on SmackDown. We have none other than Carmelo Hayes versus Aleister Black. I've never heard this tag team either. If you could spell out the name so I could talk about them, I would gladly like to.
Shake my what? What?
That's a tag team. It's called Swipe.
What?
Swipe Montana's Dakota.
What?
Carmelo Hayes versus
Swipe
Aleister
Montana's D.
Carmelo Hayes versus Aleister Black is the next match we're going to talk about. Aleister Black, of course, picks the victory. I just don't like where this storyline is going with Miz and Carmelo. If they're just going to be like two jobbers, for Aleister Black, who does what? I don't know. What do you have to say for yourself?
Aleister Black looks great since coming back. Carmelo, I don't know if y'all know this, but like Mike Knox got into it with Carmelo on Twitter a while back, and not that Mike Knox tried to. I feel like Vaughn sent out a tweet under Mike's name or under one of the Mike Knox.
King Vaughn,
right?
He didn't spend 10 minutes at a keyboard to be called Vaughn. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Your Highness, King Vaughn. He does This Week in Wrestling History.
Yo.
It's crime time. And EST. That's one of the best entrances in all of UPR.
It's the honky tonk, man.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I could watch it for days. So he sends out a tweet like, "Is Carmelo a jobber?" And apparently Carmelo makes its way to Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes is like, "A jobber? I'm not a jobber." And then he's like just angry. To the point where Mike Knox is like, "I'm sorry, Carmelo. You took it out of context. Please come on the show, player."
Because Mike was not trying to call him a jobber. To clarify,
he was not. But my God, oh my God! Well,
he took offense, and he was so offended. He attacked, I think, Cody Rhodes the following Monday on Raw to try to prove himself, right?
And then
he got nowhere because it happened after the show was over, right? But even when you saw the clips on it, you saw him just look at the camera, I'm the man who said this. It was crazy. But he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh, did he?
Damn, Steven. What, did he win it with B-Fab?
That's what I thought. He was going to be on his way with B-Fab.
My God. Yes, he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
When did this happen?
On the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
Oh, I must have been at the poker table at the Blue Fontaine hanging out with Gunther.
La Fontaine Blue.
Whatever. Blue Fontaine. La Fontaine Blue. Whatever. Stop that cap. What cap?
How did you not know Carmelo won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Because he got his piece. It's the Andre piece. Because instead of showing the trophy every week, they just gave a necklace.
I thought he got that because he got a W somewhere.
Well, no, that should prove to you that because he didn't get no W's. Clearly, no, he did get a W. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but he won it. Aleister Black said that means nothing and rolls him up for the victory, and then once again gives Miz the black mass for the third week in a row. Next match we're going to talk about is.
Hey, can I ask you a question? As a black man, if Aleister Black hits black mass on a black wrestler, is that racist?
Is that black on black crime? Is that what's going to ask?
Is that racist?
No.
No?
God, only a Mets fan. I agree.
What?
Next match we're going to talk about is Los Garcias versus Andre and Rey Fenix. Do you think Rey Fenix is over with the crowd?
I thought Vince McMahon was back because you know how he loves to put like minorities against each other and be like, "You go wrestle now."
Actually, it's a bit of a. Oh God, I hate to say it. I hate to dive in your bullshit, but it is almost like that. It's almost like that. Let me tell you why. Just a second. Let me tell you why. Because why is it? What's the premise of this storyline? Right?
That they hate each other. I don't know. They don't want to be a catering. I don't know.
No, I can't remember the guy's name. Who's the leader of Legado del Fantasma?
Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar goes up to Rey Fenix and says, "Hey, join my game." Rey Fenix says, "No, fuck you. I'm by myself." Oh, so you want to join my game? SA? This is what's going to happen.
Okay, dude, nobody says essay anymore.
What are you talking about?
That's like 30 years ago.
They literally said that. They literally said that last time.
He did not say. He did not literally say essay. ASA.
ASA Holmes. You know, first, this is what they always do.
Did he
right?
have a flannel shirt and it was just the top button and everything else was open?
Stop saying me. No, look. Oh shit! I just got that. Oh man. No. This is what happens because WWE is so racist sometimes, right? I love my company, but they're so racist sometimes. So this is what they do. You can tell their number one language, right? Their primary language is not English. So they go to somebody else's primary language is not English. They start off by talking Spanish, and then they completely divert into English. And I can see the struggle through some of them. But let's go ahead and keep talking English because we want the audience to know what the hell they're saying. Gang shit. You're not joining my crew. This is what's going to happen. They got attacked. Now we got two Hispanics versus two Hispanics.
How did Andrade get it mixed into this?
Andrade is also Hispanic. So he says,
thank you for that history lesson.
I don't know if you knew that.
I'm glad that we didn't have to call King Vaughn to give me that history lesson.
This week in wrestling history, Big Daddy Cool finds out Andrade is Hispanic. Well, you know what? We don't need Matt Mad Dog Kelly with this breaking news. Yes, it is the case. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? This is the deal. This is going on. Andrade busted in Triple H's office. Triple H is sitting there at his desk. He's drawing a picture of himself or something. I don't know. Right? And as he's drawing this picture of himself, Andrade said, "Hey, Hopes."
He didn't see that.
He said, "I got nothing to do with TV." He said, "Okay. I just bought AAA, so I got to put all of y'all together. This is what's going to happen." Because look, they're doing it even on our show. They're doing it on Raw too, right? Who is They brought in this new Hispanic wrestler, Grande El Americano, right? They brought him in. What is he doing? What's his job?
To wrestle.
To wrestle who?
Penta.
Luchadors, man. He's wrestling luchadors. More Hispanic on Hispanic crowd. And you talk about
he's a
Black.
speed champion.
He's not the only racist person around here.
He
won the speed championship on wait for it, Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
Just say.
Andrade. It's nice to see Andrade doing something.
Yeah, they say it's his first match since coming back to WWE. I don't know.
No, no, it ain't. Who gave you that? King Vaughn? Who gave you that history lesson?
They're getting ready for Worlds Collide. Worlds Collide should be more.
Oh God, here comes. Yeah,
no.
He's popping himself. You know something bad's coming. No, he's backing up.
Let's go. What's the next thing that happened on SmackDown?
Yeah, please, you tell me. I watch the show. Tell me about B-Fab and Carmelo 100, the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh my God.
Him is still there.
Oh my God. Oh, you are wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Half of those guys behind him are let go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run our last commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk.
Just to see who's.
We are. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to talk the final segment of SmackDown, which was with John Cena and Randy Orton on this Go Home episode of SmackDown. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
Will be a Hall of Famer. Can you explain to me, little girl, why you don't like Becky Lynch so much? Like, I'm serious.
I don't have a right reason. I just hate her.
Well, how do you hate somebody you don't know, or even have a reason to hate? I'm going to get you an exorcism. Something.
How her husband dresses, like.
What does her husband dressing got to do? The fans.
How bad she's performing.
That's a different story. Okay, I gotta say this. Stop the presses. I'm gonna finally admit it because he's still wrong about Bianca Belair. But damn it, Becky Lynch is now known as Becky Hogan. Did I said his name 3 times? Did he just appear in the mirror?
On their feet. On the mirror. Oh, what the?
Oh,
Sorry. Every time we say the word Hogan.
On their feet. On the mirror. Oh, what the?
And like Beetlejuice, I said it 3 times. So I gotta say it again. Hogan.
On their feet. On the mirror. Oh, what the?
Kick his damn head off.
Bite my tongue for no one. I put you on blast. So all the news channels, y'all can kiss my ass. YouTube or Google me. Turn it up and play it. Cause many people think it. I just had the balls. Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Who is those 2 guys behind Jimmy?
You are absolutely right. Everybody is gone. I literally
Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Yeah, they're all gone. They are all gone. Every last one of them.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Mike Knox Show. You can watch that every single Monday at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Forgive me, Mike Knox. I can't remember right now. I believe it's 9 o'clock every single Tuesday. Show for the intelligent wrestling fans himself, as well as Minnie Knox, Michaela Wonder. You know what? Mike, you can call me, you can curse me out. I don't really care at this point. The commercials are always funny that we always have to talk about it immediately after because, my God, bro, you could tell it's the Mike Knox Show. It was Mike talking the whole time to the point where Michaela, in order to get any kind of emotion, had to do thumbs down. Like, she was like, I tried, so let me just let everybody know I don't like this because I can't say anything. And then every time she did get a word in, you said something over.
Can I ask you, now that you brought it up, I must start by saying I love you, Mike.
We do. Hey, watch the show. The show is the best produced show on UPR. I swear to God, it's the best produced show on UPR.
Mike does he tries so hard to get into his show. And I know that Mike's been dabbling with the AI. The new graphic that's on the side that was under Michaela was amazing. But sometimes when you give AI instructions with graphics, they don't always come through.
Yes, there's something in the left corner.
If you look at Roman Reigns' shirt, it says why you see.
I saw it. I keep forgetting to say something to him about it, but yeah.
They said YEC. When did he ever come out with the YEC shirt?
Yep.
Yeah. What else happened on SmackDown?
Dayton, Ohio is given a treat for the last time. John Cena, your last WWE champion, came out to grace us with his presence. The most entertaining part about this was the fact that for the 3rd time in a row, he had that new ring announcer that I'm not a fan of. Coming to the ring.
He sucks. He's bad.
Not good. He is not good.
Oh
the last WWE champion.
Can I also say that who else is bad?
Alicia Taylor.
What's his Joe Pepitone? What's his name?
Joe Tessitore?
Joe Tessitore.
Hold on. Did you defend him against me?
I did, but there was this moment where I think was it during the Santos match? Oh no, I think it was when Phoenix was doing his Phoenix things and he's moving real fast.
Phoenix is doing his Phoenix things.
And he can't keep up. He's like, "Oh, this guy's a great legit." He sounds like not Lord Alfred Hayes. Who was the other guy that I can't stand? Oh my God, he was an announcer on WCW. He'd be like, "Oh, what a wonderful super
Gordon
Gordon
Solie?
Solie." Yes, thank you. He sounded like Gordon Solie whenever there's fast-paced action going on in the ring. Same thing during the Fraxium match. He could not keep up, and he's all like, "Oh, what great bell-to-bell action!" It's like, wait, what? What?
Joe Tessitore is newer, so I forgive him. And I told you months ago that I was a fan. It's just that there's some things I don't like that he does. But I actually am a bigger fan of Joe Tessitore than Michael Cole at times, right? Because Joe Tessitore is about business. What I mean is about business. Michael Cole, especially since he lost the Vince McMahon effort, he's been more entertaining to a wholeness. I agree. But at the same time, he doesn't have that thumb on his neck. Because now I feel like he tries to get himself over more.
Yes.
And he doesn't get told by Vince that, hey, reel it in. It's not about you right now.
Right.
I understood it when he got choked out by Gunther. Was about to get choked out. That's one thing. But during the match, I don't need you to have to be the one to try to get. And he got kind of that from Pat McAfee. And yes, they give him a little leeway. I understand that. But Michael Cole now is just completely over and over again. And I don't need to do that. With Joe Tessitore, stays about the business. He'll joke around Wade Barrett. So I like Joe Test. I do. And I think Joe Test and Wade Barrett are more entertaining to me than Michael Cole and Pat McAfee at times. And I know that's probably going
I can take them more seriously. I feel like
I like them top. I do. They're about business more than me.
Yeah.
You know, they still tell jokes. Wade is better than Pat to me. And I think Pat's good. I think Pat brings a lot of energy. But Wade knows how to get a joke over and still tell the story.
I think Wade is good at being like the old school heel announcer.
Correct. Core 100%.
Yeah. He's a good Jesse Ventura. I think what's his name tried. Who was the kid? Married to Carmella.
Corey Graves. And I like Corey Graves too.
Yeah, Corey Graves is good. It's just I don't know. I feel like McAfee's over the top sometimes.
The problem Miles Bourne is he's a little bit shorter than Randy, and that's what they were trying to do. But the problem is that when he came, the guy who came out, which later was revealed to be Sean Spears, he just wasn't tall enough. You can tell right away.
No, you can tell.
You can tell.
My son watched it and he's like, "Wow, how did Randy Orton get?" We watched it on social, so there's two different clips. So it's the mask guy shows up, and it's like he's about 3 or 4 inches shorter than John Cena, and I'm like, yeah, that's not Randy, because Randy towers over John.
Yeah, because John is 6'1" and Randy's 6'5".
Right. So I was like, that's not Randy that he just took out. And then Randy shows up, and then it's like, okay, so then who was that guy? Like, oh, he sent some bum in there, but good. Listen, sure. I'm sure that Sean Spears rather do that on SmackDown and do what he's doing in WWE right now than whatever nonsense he was doing on AEW.
Yeah, a lot of AEW crew seems a little happier. I think Lexus King's not long for the world, but it is what it is. I think John Cena's promo last night was very good. I did like the beer bottle effect. I'm glad that guy got escorted out, but I think it added. John Cena did a very good job of adding it to his promo. And I think last night, don't get me wrong, I think last night was the best heel promo John Cena's made, in my opinion. I think all his other promos lasted way too long to try to get his point across, and it always annoyed me. It always dragged. But
what did you like best? So you like the fact that it was shorter, more succinct, more to the point. Did you like the jab about the drug test failing?
Correct. It was good. Like I said, and I think this is why I think this was his best one. The whole time I'm thinking like that whole waste of time they did with him turning on Cody and him blaming the fans for it. That was still stupid. That's still a waste of time. Rock didn't need to be a part of it. The only problem I had with this segment was the fact that you can tell they're just going through the motions to get the backlash, because all it was is Randy want to come out and RKO John Cena again to say goodbye. I love you, brother. I love you, because John Cena's winning tonight.
Yeah. What is your opinion in modern day wrestling? And this happens in, I think, both AEW and WWE product. Mm-hmm. Like earlier this week, you had Becky Lynch on Raw Talk on Tuesday morning. First off, we didn't talk about this enough on the Monday Night Review show about Becky Lynch and this garbage promo. Good God, man. Amazing. Like I can't tell you enough how much I felt that in my heart of hearts. Like, I take out the garbage, and you ask me, why did I take out the garbage? Like, Triple H was like, probably he was clapping in the back because he knows, listen, he just let go a bunch of garbage on Friday. And then everybody on the internet, oh, why'd you let go of Danny Palmer? What? Like, bro, I just took out the garbage. Like, you should say thank you when I take out the garbage. Like, Becky Lynch's promo, probably one of the best promos of 2025.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Oh, hold up. Hey, look, Morel, Malaysia Johor, undisputed champion is here. Hey, what's up? If you guys didn't know, that's Morel, Malaysia Johor YouTube video live, which has nothing to do with Anthony Shobat and friends opening boxes or whatever. What is his name? Who knows?
Shout out to Cactus Katie, because I don't know. It was during, I think it was the AEW review show. That gentleman that you just mentioned, his name entered our inbox on Instagram, asking where's Chris Harris.
Well, here, who? Anthony Shobat does opening and more. That guy, he's great. Anyway,
WWE WrestleMania 42 Rhea Ripley Women's Championship 2026. I guess you're calling it into existence. Anyway, that's pretty much everything that happened on SmackDown. What else do you got?
So Becky cuts his promo on Monday night. Then on Raw Talk, she's like, this is going back to my question about realism in professional wrestling promos. So then on Tuesday, she's on Raw Talk, and she's like, why are you guys all bigging up Bayley? Like, Bayley's a bum. Like, Bayley has to probably pay her best friend $100 to text her. And it popped everybody. It popped Becky. Becky was so not.
I just got that.
Oh, you just?
I did. I saw that the other day. I was like, I don't see what's so funny about that. And now because even though I saw what Sasha was doing, it didn't click in my head until you just said it. I was like, you know what? Now it makes sense. That is a good line.
It's a fire line, but you got that. You got this failed drug test line. Like, what are your thoughts on like wrestlers kind of? I don't know if it's
Becky always has been that way. Ever since she turned heel in 2018 and became the man, right? She was starting to take all these kind of subtle, interesting jabs that, kind of blurred that line. That's what got her over. Well, the first thing that got her over was slapping Charlotte. The second thing that got her over was making those kind of comments. And then the last thing that got her over to superstardom was her taking a punch from One Nia Jax. But yeah, Becky's always good. And I always like that. That makes it more interesting. AEW does it a lot, but they overuse it sometimes, in my opinion, especially MJF. And, I'm a big fan of promos, but I'm also a big fan of shorter promos. Mm-hmm. And what I mean short, I'm not talking about 10 to 20 seconds or 30 seconds, right? Because I think, we talked about you could have a good promo in 10 to 20 seconds with Jacob Fatu earlier, where all he did was just spew all his lines.
He just said the same line 3 times to 3 different guys. And it worked.
Dog walk. Go run the play.
Run the play. Yada, I mean.
You could have it like that. You could also have a longer promo, which is going to be, what the Rock likes having longer promos. And he does those very well, especially when he's insulting the crowd, right? But I like when you're the 2 to 5 minute mark and you get to the point. MJF every single week, it's like you take 20 minutes on the AEW. I wish they stopped giving him the microphone for so long because he does that to try to blur the lines and make himself seem like a real heel. Seth Rollins is good on the mic, but Seth Rollins also takes too fucking long to get to the point. He drags, and then you lose me.
I love it. Seth Rollins is the best wrestler in all professional wrestling right now.
I agree. He's the best. In my opinion, is
who?
Chad
Go
Gable.
ahead. Chad Gable.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's Chad Gable.
No.
Pound
for pound, full total package wrestler.
Chad Gable.
I
think Seth Rollins used to be. I think injuries got to him. And one thing that I'll say, and I'm going to say this on here right now, I think Seth Rollins is getting himself up there again. I noticed this past couple weeks that I think Seth Rollins has been hitting the gym more. He's been looking in better shape than he has in I dare say some years. What?
Fernando says MJF is awesome on the mic.
He's entertaining, but he takes too long to talk sometimes. And he just says the same shit.
Will Ospreay is not entertaining as a wrestler. Like
I think Will
ring,
Ospreay is the best person to have in
But I'm going to say this right now again. I say this time and time again. Nobody watches professional wrestling for the wrestling alone. If you did, you'd be the biggest mark of Greco-Roman wrestling, but you're not. You like the catchphrases. You like you love the entertainment, and therefore, for you to be the best wrestler, you need to be both a wrestler in the ring and entertaining. And if you're only one, then you can't be the best. Ospreay is nowhere near entertaining as Seth Rollins.
In my
And
opinion,
therefore,
if they
Seth
built
Rollins
the
is
company
over
around
Will.
Will Ospreay a little bit faster, they will be in a better position. I do believe that. And now, granted, I'm agreeing with you. I don't think he's as entertaining Seth Rollins or half the people as he gets insulted on Wednesday. I agree with you. But I think as far as popularity and what they need right now, I think Will Ospreay is the best person for him. I've been to a few shows where Will Ospreay by far gets the biggest pop. The other half
from Mark's.
Well, yeah, because most of the AEW fans are marked. So, I mean, but I'm just saying that's what they need to do. But as far as the other half on the women's side, it's Toni Storm, which is why she's been able to do so well for so long herself. She's very good. And I know you said that you're sick of her promos, but she's still very, this past Wednesday, her promo was very, very, or was a collision. I can't remember, but it was very, very well done.
She's just a one-trick pony. She's in this one gimmick. And then it's like just a lot of like,
I can't say caring.
Sexual innuendo. Like that's my problem with her.
When you have a Sasha Banks on your roster.
It's the same thing. Anyways, a great episode of SmackDown. Are you buying SmackDown? I mean, are you buying Backlash because of this episode of SmackDown?
If it was still pay-per-views, no. I would not be buying Backlash. But thankfully, they're not still pay-per-views, and they haven't been for 11 years now. It's been a while. Yes. But back in the day when I don't know what was going on with me. Back in the day when I used to actually, and I missed those days in WWE. Let me tell you, on Sunday night, back in I think it was 2000. No. Back in the day when they used to have the brand based pay-per-views, second incarnation of a brand split. 2000, I think 16 and 18, they had the brand split for pay-per-views. And there was a time where every other week there was a pay-per-view. Perfect way to spend my Sunday nights. I do miss those. Yes. I never liked the fact that they put the brands back together for the pay-per-views. I still don't like it. I wish they would split it up again. They don't have to be every other week anymore. It could be every month. And they take turns. They trade off. It doesn't make any sense to me that NXT has their own PLEs and WWE, Raw, and SmackDown can't have their own separate PLEs. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Let's separate them again. Only for the B shows. You know what I'm saying? The backlashes, the Judgment Day, they still had those around. You know, stuff like that. They don't, I mean, I just, my personal opinion. But I would not buy this. There was a time I was buying every single WWE pay-per-view, but now I don't have to, and I would not buy this. And I bought one AEW pay-per-view. One. I paid for. One. And I got
Did you lose a bet?
No. Somebody said, hey, Chris, do you think you buy this AEW pay-per-view and I give you the money back?
And you never saw that money back.
Well, no, but that's not my problem. My problem is I paid for it. Yeah. I paid for it. And when I say I paid for it, I mean I had to watch it. That's what I mean, right? You know, I had an old friend I used to go to his house and watch all the AEW pay-per-views, and he used to fall asleep on it before I fell asleep on it. AEW does very good pay-per-views, they're just too long.
Yep. That guy's in jail now, right?
Should be, but I don't know. Mercedes is up there. Oh, we finally got to see Anna Jay on television. Nobody cares. Thank you. Thomas Tony's best woman character in wrestling. And now Anna Jay is feuding with Megan Bain. Nobody cares.
Anna Jay on Wednesday night made Megan Bain look bad. Like, Anna Jay should be fired.
Cena had his best promo of his entire heel turn so far. I agree with you, Fernando. I agree with you. I said that, Fernando. I agree with you, Fernandito. I think he did a fantastic job.
I like,
but it doesn't sell me the pay-per-view.
I want to say that I see you, Chris, and I applaud you. I appreciate your attempts. That when you see Len names, you try to roll your R's and make them like when you were doing the Backlash review with Vic, you were like with the mark Victor Rodriguez. I see you, Chris.
Eres Alberto Del Rio.
We're gonna hear that again soon. My God, you do a good job, man.
I don't care if most of y'all hate him. He was one of my favorite wrestlers in 2000.
You must have dated a Latina girl at some point that you were so good at
Latino women don't like me.
I think you're missing something there.
Latino women don't like me. They only want.
What do we got here?
say this all to. We talk about my love life all the time, Big Daddy Cool. Latino women do not like me. White women do not like me. The most ghetto black women are the only ones that like me.
I don't think
The
you're
most
trying
ghetto or the fatter black women are the only ones that like me.
You not last week. Last week you got somebody that DM'd you real good. She's probably
Okay. Let's see what happens when we go out. We're gonna have one good date. It's gonna be like, oh, you know what? I think we did well. She's like, yeah, I just see you as a friend because you didn't offer me weed. You didn't. I didn't feel like I was about to get arrested. Stuff like that. So
you need to step your game up. What do you need to try to get arrested on a date? Watch that movie Blind Date with Kim Basinger and Bruce Willis. Take some tips from that. He's a magnet for being. Oh my God.
Baby mothers. Was Latina women don't like? Wait, Latino women? No, they don't like me. Most Latino women like Latino men. Most. I mean, nothing's ever all, but most Latino women like Latino men.
I feel like they're very selective. Like they like.
Yeah, select Dominican, Puerto Rican, Salvadorian. Not African American.
Rhea Ripley will win Backlash
I'll have no
2025.
tattoos.
Blind Date was an excellent movie. Oh, thank you, Maria. It was. I liked it when I was a
All right,
child.
let's get out of here.
I feel like Maria said something else, and I want to just make.
We
a
did.
reference to it.
Yes, we are.
Maria said, "No, she didn't say yes, we are." She said something about Tony Storm. Where'd that go?
I see where it says yes, we are.
Oh my God. No, she said something about Timeless Tony Storm is like the best women's wrestler. Oh my God.
It's right there.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
It's been up for like 10 seconds. And
It's been a long day, buddy. It's been a long day.
It's not getting any longer. So we're going to wrap this up.
I applaud that idea. I will just say this. Little girls aren't dressing up as Tony Storm in the streets. They're dressing up as Rhea. They're dressing up as Bianca. Soon they'll be dressing up as Zelina Vega. But they're never going to dress up like Tony Storm because she's a trollop. Thank you. Okay. What is there something wrong with your Tiffy time?
I'm just saying you're not acknowledging Tiffy time there. You need to acknowledge Tiffy time.
Tiffy time is so trash. I swear to God. We need to talk about that.
What time is it?
That's She's so bad. Like
that's a new thing. I wonder who taught her that one.
EO, because EO was like this. Where are my glasses? Why? My meta glasses?
Oh man, I'm so upset, Steve. I went to the club Thursday and I lost them. I am so pissed off.
No, for real?
I did. I am
Chris,
so pissed off.
what are you doing?
I realized when I was like, oh no, the glasses are gone. No.
Bro, how did you lose them?
I have no idea. I don't remember taking them off, but apparently I must have taken them off and left them somewhere.
How did you get that wasted that you don't even remember where you left these glasses?
I wasn't even that wasted.
Bro, you are lightweight. How do you not remember?
I'm so pissed. The whole time in Vegas, I thought Vegas was going to be the spot I lost them in. Never lost them in Vegas, but I lost them.
You did leave them that one time, and then I grabbed them from you.
Thank God. Naomi's better than Tiffany. That's arguable. Avengers Doomsday, Robert Downey. Is this person like what are they? Commercial? Like I don't understand. What's going on? Where's the hey ho ho? You know what? I still have those, but the hey ho ho ho, it went off.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Tom Hardy, Venom.
Someone's trolling us now.
Oh my God.
Tom Hardy, Venom 4, King in Black, 2026.
Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Johor, who's going to be the president next year? Go ahead.
Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Unpopular Review SmackDown Penitentiary. I'm the executive consultant. That's Big Daddy Cool. Hopefully next week, Wick will be back here along with Dice, the Z Silent, and their new co-host, since we unfortunately had to make a decision to cancel Collision because no one was watching. Their new co-host, Mad Dog Kelly.
You know what I also like about watching Victor? And Vic is very rarely like he's on, you got to catch him like Brock Lesnar because he's on every once in a while. But my favorite line of Vic's is, that was very interesting. And I'm going to tell you why. This man, catch him. Watch. He's going to tell you that it's very interesting. And I'm going to tell you why. Listen after that. Do a shot. Do a shot. Do a shot a game when you watch the next SmackDown with Vic. Drink every time. Do a shot every time he says that. Guaranteed, you're going to the hospital before the end of the hour.
Almost every single person on this program in our entire network has something that you can't play a shot glass to. Shout out to Jeffrey for remembering that one episode Vic was on the train and he was like on one like big time. That was over a year ago, right? But that episode was so memorable of how Vic was acting. He was acting like the ultimate heel. Facts. I'll do a shot.
What are my mannerisms? What do I do? I feel like you can do a good impression of me.
I could, but I'm not going to do it today because I got to really warm up. But you have a
you got to go to your date with the Nigerian woman that's looking for a green card.
No, it's Mother's Day weekend. She's out. But I will say, what is so funny? What is so funny? What is so funny?
Oh my God, I can't with you.
She's, I was talking to her, and she was like, "How many kids do you have?" I said 2. She said, "I have 2 also." I think she has like 2 boys. I have 2 girls.
The Brady Bunch.
And she was like, "Would you date a girl with children?" I said, "Well, yeah, absolutely. I'll be hypocritical if I said no." She said, "Well, it does happen." I'm like, I can't do that. She has 2. Now that's my limit. I haven't said that out loud yet before, but yeah, 2 is my limit. But there used to be a time when I wouldn't date a woman with kids, but then somebody came up to me and said I'm pregnant, so that ended that.
Oh my God, Vic. CBM magnet.
Come on, when if you're meeting now, you two are married, right? So y'all, I can't. Y'all don't feel me. Y'all don't experience what I. But when you're our age and we are dating women our age, if they don't have a kid, it's very rare. They're psychopathic or they were in jail for like 20 years because most women our age is going to have a kid.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vic. That was an entertaining because he was giving us different sounds while being. Let me tell you, Vic will give you different. Watch the early days of UPR. Vic was everywhere. Vic
was in a golf. Like, let me tell you about this special plant of hibiscus here.
Talk to Vic anytime about plants or politics. It has to be PP or another P, which I won't say because I don't know if his wife's around. But if it's a P. If it's a P, Vic is talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go. Let's get out of here. Thank you so much. Hey, shout out to Big Daddy Cool. I was like, oh, man, we might have to cancel SmackDown for the second week in a row. He inboxed me and said, I can do it as long as it's real quick. 1 hour, 16 minutes later, we had a whole episode of SmackDown.
I was really hoping for like, yo, let's do this in 15 minutes. Like, just rapid fire. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, we enjoy each other, talking to each other so much.
Yeah, we do. You know what? But Vic and I did the Backlash preview show in 12 minutes.
Oh, I saw that. And that was only 5 matches.
It was only most of
them. And I heard you're like, I really wish it was only like pay-per-view PLE should be 7 matches. I'm like,
yeah, 6 or 7. Preferably 7. 7's a sweet spot.
Too much. 5 is good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rhea Ripley versus Logan Paul. You heard it here first, everybody. Just place your bets down. Hell in a Cell. It's happening.
Excellent review stream as usual. Thank you, Fernando. That was great, fellas. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have something for everybody. We'll go through real quickly. For the WWE Unpopular Review Wrestling side, we have something for everyone. Make sure you watch Mondays immediately after Raw for the Rated R Raw review with myself, Big Daddy Cool, and Stephen Willie Beeman. On Tuesday, starting in the morning at 9 o'clock a.m., the show for the intelligent wrestling fan, Mike Knox. I think this Tuesday, Honeybee returns to action with Mike Knox as well as Michaela for Tuesday morning. Gotta love Big Daddy Cool, and I'll talk to him about it later. Tuesday night, immediately after NXT, join NXT Trio -1 as it is none other than the Wrestling Doll as well as Freckles Sensei. On Wednesdays, All Elite Women, Sheriff, and Cactus Katie, and then Saturdays next week back here at noon, Z, Matt Mad Dog Kelly, and the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul. That's supposed to be coming. I'll give you more information about it. Ladies and gentlemen, also make sure that you follow us on our social medias, Unpopular Review Wrestling on Instagram, Unpopular Review Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook, and newly appointed Unpopular Review Entertainment on Instagram. If you have not followed Unpopular Review on Entertainment on Instagram and YouTube, go ahead and watch that and subscribe to that because we do a lot of content as far as movies and television, and you want to make sure that you do not mix out. Ladies and gentlemen, for Big Daddy Cool, I am the executive consultant, and we will see you right here next time on Unpopular review. Good night or good day. Enjoy your Saturday. Happy